They say they need to ban the podcast equipment and take y'all mics away. And oftentimes when I listen, shit, I agree.
For real talk.
Hey, man, just because we know people don't mean that they know things. A lot of us was in the same classes with some of these folks. That don't mean they were passing these classes.
All the time.
It ain't the world leaving you behind, man. It's your line of thinking. You think the science stopped evolving because you stopped learning, and it don't work that way. I couldn't imagine voting for somebody who thinks identifying with me is identifying with a felon. That's crazy as hell. I'm Mr. Spann, and I'm approving these messages. This is the Mr. Spann Official Podcast. Let's go. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Mr. Spann Official Podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Spann, and this is episode number 79 of the show, and we are here, man. We are here. Yeah, man. We did 3 shows last week, man. That shit was fun, man. I really do like that type of flow, man. If I can get that flow going all the time, man, this shit will be lit, nigga. This shit'll be lit in real talk. But of course, before we get into everything we're gonna talk about tonight, I gotta remind you guys how to get in touch with us over here at the Mr. Spann Official Podcast, and let your voice be heard, man. Real talk. So go ahead and hit up that hotline at area code 313-288-0485. This area code 313-288-0485. Leave those voicemail messages. Of course, those messages will get played here live on the show and responded to here in content. And if you're watching this here live on YouTube and or Facebook, go ahead and hit your man Spann up while we're doing the show, man. Get your voice heard live, man. Get that real feedback while we talking our shit over here at the Mr. Spann Official Podcast, man. So that number again is area code 313-288-0485. You can also hit us up on our email at feedback@thespannreport.com. That's feedback@thespannreport.com. Go ahead and hit us up there. And I'll read those emails here and reply to those emails here live as well. Chop it up with your man Spann on social media, man. I am on Bluesky, very seldom, but I am there. Hit me up on Bluesky. My name on there is Mr. Spann, bsky.social. So if you're on Bluesky and that's your, your micro blogging place of choice, then go ahead and hit your man Spann, Mr. Spann.bsky.social over there on bluesky.com. Also, I am on Threads, and I am mostly on Threads. And if you want to chop it up with your man Spann, it's Mr._Spann. It's on Threads and Instagram. So follow me there, chop it up with your man Spann throughout the week there. Also, like I said, on YouTube, man, if you're watching us via YouTube, man, there's no reason why you shouldn't be subscribed to the channel. You should just go ahead and subscribe to the channel. That way you're alerted when we do go live. And then anytime we do post a video, man, you can get, everything we got going on, man. Go ahead and hit that bell icon and be alerted when we go live. Be alerted when we post a new video. And you don't have to worry about missing shit if you go ahead and do that. So go ahead and subscribe to us over on YouTube. We really appreciate you guys for doing it. And also, leave us some comments there. Those comments, if they're constructive, if they're constructive to the conversation, we will highlight some of those comments and we will reply to those comments during our listener feedback portion of the show. Also, if you're checking us out via iTunes and or Spotify, those Spotify and iTunes reviews, we like the 5-star ones. Really, the 5-star ones. Those are the ones that we really do highlight, man. If you gonna talk some shit about us, man, well, damn it, you gotta leave us 5 stars in order to talk shit, and we actually acknowledge your ass, right? So go ahead, leave us a 5-star review. Those 5-star reviews are the ones that get right here live on the show. We really do appreciate everybody who does that. Doesn't cost you a dime, just a couple minutes of your time to let everybody know why you're rocking with us over here at the Mr. Spann Official Podcast and the Spann Report Podcast Network in its entirety. And also, man, if you want to give us some money, because we ain't never saying no to no button no dollars, man. We really ain't. We're not saying no, right? But we want you to get something back for your money, right? So we do got a store. And our store does have merch. And our store does have fly merch. And if you do get something out of our store with the fly merch, we appreciate that. But not only that, it's your way of supporting the show and you get something back. So we got fly shirts, we got hoodies, we got coffee mugs, we got water bottles, we got mouse pads, we got laptop covers, and we also got hats, man.
Yo, we got some hats now, motherfuckers.
We got hats, man. So go ahead and cop yourself some merch, man. And, like I said, we really appreciate everybody who does that. You know what I'm saying? It does cost you a couple bucks, but you do get something back in return. And we really do appreciate everybody who supports us in that way, man. Helps us keep this whole operation going, man. If you like what we got going on, then couple dollars, man. Couple dollars don't hurt you, man. Couple dollars don't hurt. So yeah, man, real talk. We appreciate everybody who does and contributes in that way, whether it be feedback in regards to commentary, or whether it be feedback in regards to dollars. We appreciate it all over here at the Mr. Beneficial Podcast and the Spann Report Podcast Network in its entirety, man. Real talk. But yeah, man. So yeah, like I said, last week we did 3 shows last week, man. And that, like, shout out to vacation time though, because that allowed for me to have some time. That allowed for me to have some time away from the job to where I could actually kind of focus on some stuff, and then I could like get some rapid response. That's really what it's about, when it comes to like some of this podcasts and stuff. I like the rapid response. I like not having a backlog of shit to talk to y'all about, and then I feel like, I gotta speak on this, and then you look up and the show is fucking damn near 3 hours long, and it's just like, come on, bro. Right. And so, like, even the last show that I did with y'all, man, like, I was on the mic. I didn't plan on being on the mic no longer than, like, I don't know, 45 minutes. That show was over 90 minutes long, man. I just figured out, man. I'm just like, I guess I'm a long-winded nigga, man. I guess that's why, like, Twitter was never really my jam, because I am verbose. If nothing else, your boy Spann is verbose, man. So yeah, man, you got that going on. But we got some people in the chat room, man. Shout out to Team US 2K. Shout out to y'all, man. Appreciate y'all for being here. Hey, from us here at Team US 2K. I appreciate y'all being here. And my man Dwayne's in the chat room. What's up, Spann? What's going on, Dwayne? So shout out to my man Dwayne here representing here in the chat room, man. Appreciate y'all for being here and being a part of the discussion, man, because that's what this is about, man. It's about the discussion. It ain't just me being on the monologue, although I talk a lot, but shit. I like when I hear from y'all, man. I be over here lonely and shit, So, yeah. Nah, man, but we got some stuff here, man. I don't think we're gonna be on. I said this is the last time. I don't think we're gonna be on here super long tonight because I got to go to work tomorrow. But we got some stuff to talk about, man, and we're gonna get to talking about this stuff, man. But I do have a couple random thoughts. Okay, so one of my random thoughts is this. So, and this is partly this is me. This is a result of me being on like vacation and shit, somewhat. Me having time off because of the holiday and whatnot. But, I got a little watering hole I go to now, man. I'm pretty much a regular. They treat me like a fucking norm and shit. You know what I'm saying? I go in there, they know my name. I go in there, they're already making my drink before I even sit down at the bar, bro. If I walk in the door and I go to the bathroom because I got to go run to the bathroom real quick, by the time I get to the bar, my drink is already made, bro. I love this place. I love it. It's low key, you know what I'm saying? It's a nice little ambiance up in there. They be having the games on and whatnot, man. It ain't a whole lot of riffraff coming through there, man. I be kicking it with the mayor of my town up in that bitch. I was up in it, no, real talk. Last weekend, I was in the bar with the mayor of my town, and we was knocking back old fashions like Goodfellas, right? We was all of me, the owner of the bar, and the mayor. We knocking them bitches back. And the mayor's wife actually makes the syrup that the bar is now like going to like try to make it to like the house syrup for the old fashions and shit. And it's a really good syrup. She like real talk. She doing a thing. But like I'm waiting on this nigga. I'm waiting on the mayor to sober up so I can ask him about these sidewalks and shit. Like real talk. I was waiting on the mayor to sober up so I can. Hey man, why you charging me $600 for these sidewalks when that ain't my property, bruh? You know what I'm saying? And if y'all were gonna charge me for the improvement of the sidewalks, why didn't y'all put that shit in my property taxes as opposed to just charging me $600 motherfucking dollars out of pocket? I'd have preferred that shit came out of my property taxes, because I'm already paying a pretty good, decent amount on property tax, and then you're gonna throw another $600 on top of that out of my, I'm like, I was a little, perturbed by that, and I wanted to ask him that, but I couldn't really ask him that because we both been drinking, you know what I'm saying? And he's a jovial fellow, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't get to ask because we was drunk. Right, but that was one of those things, man. But no, I'm a little watering hole though, right? So I go there. Usually I go there like on the weekends or something when I get time off or something like that, man. Like I ain't got to go to work or nothing. Like let me go up here. I'm gonna go ahead and get me some spinach and artichoke dip, or I might go ahead and get me like a little bar burgers, brew, give me an old fashioned, drive my ass home back home, right? But man, like this Monday, this past Monday, man, you know, because I was off this past Monday. I was in the bar, man. I'm chilling. I'm having my drink. I'm watching the game. And like normally when they got the game on, they don't even have the sound to the game on. You get the music from the jukebox and shit. And they had a game on with the closed captions and stuff, right? Man, I looked up and they had turned the motherfucking music off, turned the games off, and all of the TVs had Love Island on them bitches, bro. All of them had Love Island on. Now, listen. I understand that I have fully graduated into Unk status. Hold on. So Team US2K, is it starters? No, it is not starters. I do not want to put my little local watering hole up because, you know, I be in there, you know what I'm saying? And although some of my people will probably want to come up there, pay your boy a visit, everybody ain't got good intentions. You know, I say some shit that be pissing people off. So I don't want to tell everybody what my little local water hole is, but it ain't starters. It used to be years ago, but it ain't starters. But nah, man, so I'm in there and like, yo, man, I'm chilling and I'm like, yo, man, like you like I said, I'm cool with the owner. And like the owner was like, yeah, man. So I was talking to my nephews and my nieces and stuff, and they were saying this Love Island shit is really cracking. Like everybody really is like addicted to this show. And I'm like, yeah, but the game was on, fam. Like you ain't never turned the games off for one show. Not only that, you ain't never turned like the games off and then turn the sound on for any type of show since I've been coming here. But damn it, I'll be damned if he didn't have the sound on for Love Island that night. And then I had to slowly turn around and like look at my surroundings and shit, right? So I'm at the bar and I'm drinking and I got my spinach artichoke dip, you know, I'm chilling. And I just turn around, I just started noticing, like, oh snap, there's like 3 or 4 girls look like they might be 22 over there. And then I turn around, there's like there's another little group of young ladies over there that look like they might be like 22, 24 years old, something like that. And then I turn around, here goes like 5 or 6 other young ladies that look like they might be like maybe 25 or something like that. I'm like, oh shit. Like this Love Island night. I ain't know they had a Love Island night. He hadn't told me that he had a Love Island night until just then. And I'm like, fuck, bro. I came in on Love Island night. I can't watch the game. It's time for Unc to go home. And you know what? It didn't feel good for Unc, you know, for Unc to feel like he had to go home, man. I wasn't feeling that shit, man. I wasn't. I'm like, man, you know what? I'm going ahead and give my tab, man. I'm gonna go ahead and go home, man. I can watch the game. I guess I could watch the game at the crib. I mean, it ain't like I ain't got a nice setup here at the house too. But still, man, I ain't like that shit. I ain't like that shit, man. And I had posted about it on social media, and you know, some of the ladies was like, don't be like that. And I'm like, well, shit, man. Like, normally y'all watch that shit amongst yourselves at home and shit. You know, like he ain't never turn off the sound for the games for us or turn on the sound for the games for us. I felt the kind of way about that. You know, like, damn, Uncle had a little spot, not a spot about to blow up and shit. And then my wife, here's the tripped out part about it, right? So my wife, not too long after I got on the mic here tonight. So my wife sends me some shit on TikTok. And one of the TikTok creators then came on. She done posted this shit on TikTok talking about some Love Island nights watch party up at such and such on Mondays and Tuesdays. I'm like, fuck. Right? But I had to chill out. I had to chill out because it's like, listen, Spann, Monday nights and Tuesday nights, chances are your ass done been at work and you too tired to be up there anyway. You wouldn't be up there on those nights anyway. Chill out. Let the young people have something too. Let the young people have something. I know, you know, unks be wanting they little places to go and they feel like they being imposed upon when the young people and the young ladies and everything, they got their thing going or whatnot. But hey, man, you ain't going to be there on no Monday nights on the regular until Monday Night Football maybe. And usually, like even on the Monday Night Football game, if it ain't the Lions playing, chances are I ain't going to be up there on that night. Right? So in Tuesday nights, I'm definitely not going to be on that night. But if the young ladies want to go up there on the Monday and Tuesday night, then let the bar owner make him some cash And then also let them young ladies enjoy themselves watching their little show, and that'd be a thing. But yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Your man Spann felt a little way about that shit Monday, man. I was a little upset about it. So you got that going on. Another thing I was thinking about, man. This was on my mind over the course of this week. So I saw this post on Facebook, and it was talking about research says that like black family reunions have declined, but like damn near 50% since 1997. And like some of the main reasons why family reunions amongst black families have like kind of dwindled away is because elders are passing away, and a lot of people just don't have they haven't resolved inner family issues and shit. And like low key, I could relate to that. I could damn sure relate to that. Like I think I talked a bit about this last year with you guys, man, on the mic, man. Like I hosted the family reunion for my family here in the Detroit area last year, and that was the very first family reunion we had in my family since I was 17 years old, since 1997. Yeah, man, it had been a while, man. My mother was at the very last family reunion I remember going to. And for whatever reason, man, my family had got kind of bougie. We wasn't doing family reunions at the park and shit where you had the barbecue and the games and, the softball game and, the kids having like, sack races and stuff like that. Nah, my family was doing shit like fucking banquets and shit, and they didn't want the kids to show up and stuff like that. Like, what the fuck kind of family reunion is that, right? And I remember being there at that family reunion, and it was okay or whatever. Not really understanding how sick my mother was, right? My mother had been battling breast cancer at that point for 2 years, but like being around her, and like the way that my mother was, like my mother was like she wouldn't stay home. My mother was always moving. My mother was always going. She just the life of wherever the fuck it was. My mother was the life of that shit. And so like, I think my perspective of how sick my mother was a bit skewed because of how, how active my mother was towards her, even in her last days and stuff. Right. And it wasn't until after I saw pictures of her after she had passed on, and I'm like, oh shit, mama was really sick. Like I didn't see it. Like I didn't see the gradual degradation that not only the cancer, but like the treatment of the cancer. I didn't see that. It wasn't registering to me in my 17-year-old mind. It wasn't registering to me how sick my mother was. And so like the last family reunion we had, like I said, was that banquet in Chicago at it's somewhere in somewhere on like 116th and Western. I forget exactly. I forget the name of that banquet hall. But like so when I had the family reunion here, it had been the result of one of our elders in the family passing away. And it gets to become a thing in a lot of our families, man, where the only time you get to see family is at things like funerals or weddings, right? Such and such is getting married, and they send out the invitations, and everybody show up for the wedding and stuff like that. And then you like, oh man, this is cool. I ain't seen you. Oh, cuz we got to link up, man. And then y'all don't link up, right? Same thing with funerals. Oh man, it's fucked up. The only time we can ever really get together, man, is when we on a sad occasion like this. And that of course that conversation came up during this elder's funeral, right? And so at that time, I think like I'm of the mind of like, yo man, listen, this can't keep continuing to be the thing. My family isn't that big. We don't have it, especially on my mother's side of the family, we are losing a lot of folk. And one of the biggest beefs that I had with my father was that like is famous as my grandfather was. I don't know many of my people on my father's side. So like that was the biggest issue that I had with him. Like, man, how the fuck I don't know my people? I've been real big on knowing who our people are, right? And so it was incumbent upon me to say, hey man, listen, family reunion in Detroit next year. I'm gonna get the park. Y'all figure out what the hell y'all gonna do. And we did that. We actually did that. We ended up like putting it together, having the first family reunion in our family since 1997. We didn't have the amount of participation that I would have liked for the first time, but hey, it's the first time, man. We got to get back and practice of this shit, right? But one of the things that made me think about was the idea that when Big Mama passes on, like that's the glue to the family, and many people just kind of like fall by the wayside because the only reason they had even been dealing with each other is because of Big Mama, or because of whatever glue that it was that you had in your family. The only reason you were dealing with certain people in your family was because of the connections that you had with Big Mama, and Big Mama brought y'all together. And now that Big Mama is not here, y'all no longer feel the need to be in each other's company anymore, right? And even for me, I know for me, man, there were people in my family that I got issues with, right? That I don't really fuck with like that. But at the same time, I was like, yo, man, I had to put some shit aside, some personal shit aside. At least for me, I had to put some personal shit aside, for the betterment of the younger generation coming up behind me who don't know, hey, man, you got family in Las Vegas. You got family in Atlanta. You got family in Texas. You got family in Kansas City. Man, you got family in Bay City. You got family in Indiana. And you don't know who these people are. If you'd came in contact with these folks outside of this, you would not have known that was your people. And unfortunately for a lot of folk, man, like we are losing recipes. We are losing recipes when it comes to keeping family together. And as I get older, it's like, yo, man, when you was a kid, your only job was to show up because your mama was going to show up. Your uncle, your daddy was going to show up. They done bought you a t-shirt that you done probably wore to bed 1,000 times. You know what I'm saying? And like the names and probably like faded off and everything else. But you got this t-shirt and you went to this picnic, and you get excited when you see your cousins and stuff, because a lot of times that was the only time you got the chance to see your cousins, from down south, or your cousins from out west, or your cousins from out east. The only time you got a chance to see them. And so like when you're a kid, your only job is to show up. And I think to a large degree, some of us, as we've gotten older, we forget that now, like, nigga, we the old heads. We're the ones that are responsible to get these sorts of things together, to what if the kids know, hey, these are your elders. This is where you come from. This is the family history. This is your family tree. So like, even now, man, I got like this little family Google Photos account, where everybody in my family has access to it, and they can upload pictures of family and stuff like that, to where like now, when you want to look up, who your great grandmother was, bam, you put her name in there, boom, there's a picture of her, and you can see her. And then shit with AI, hell, you can damn near animate the shit now. But like, I think it's important that we don't lose those connections. And so when I saw that statistic that said 47% of black families don't even have family reunions no more, it was like, yeah, I get it. I understand it, because that was the reality in my family. And it's up to us. It's up to us to, kind of reverse those sorts of those trends, man. So as we become the aunties and the uncles and the old heads in our family, I challenge all of us to say, hey, man, listen, hey, even if it's a small gathering, just get it started. Just get it started. Get the ball rolling. And eventually and hopefully a lot of your family start seeing it. Hey, man, they got together and they did this. I want to be a part of that next year. I want to be a part of that in the year after that. And it moves on, because, I hate that like so many of these young people don't have the connections to their elders in the ways in which they should, man. Real talk. So we got that going on. But that's enough of my random thoughts, man. See, look at that shit. I'm already 25 minutes into the show. Look at this shit. Right? So we got that going on, man. But let's get into some of this shit, man, we're going to talk about, man. So, yo, man, did y'all know that Chuck E. Cheese was talking about bringing out an adult version of their franchise? I don't know. I don't know if it's something that we should really be celebrating. So, man, here we go, man. I'm going to read this story here. This comes out of Good Morning America. They are coming out with a Chuck E. Cheese, and they calling this shit Chuck's Arcade. Okay, Chuck's Arcade. So there's apparently video to this shit. This comes out of Good Morning America. And so because there's video to this, I'm going to pull that video up so you guys can watch right along with your man Spann. And let's see what the hell Michael Strahan got to say about Chuck's Arcade. Because I got something to say about Chuck's Arcade. Well, let's see what Michael Strahan got to say about Chuck's Arcade. What are you talking about, man? Come on, Michael Strahan, say your shit.
Now, one popular chain is offering a new way to save on food, fun, and games. Becky Worley, tell us all about it. Good morning, Becky.
Michael, good morning. Chuck E. Cheese. You know it for birthday parties, pizza, and that famous animatronic rat. Okay.
We also know them for fights. Okay.
But now they want you to become a member, and it's all part of a bigger economic trend that's affecting families all across the country.
They call it funflation. This morning, the prices for summer fun climbing as quickly as your kid's favorite roller coaster. And for so many parents, those rising costs make family outings way too expensive. But now, Chuck E. Cheese hoping to entice some families with a subscription that opens up discounts. The monthly fees start at $7.99.
Based on that pass, you can get from 40 games to 250 games per day. So let's say you go in on a Tuesday and you have the highest tier pass, which gets you 250 points.
Hey, man, they told me this was about the adults. Why they got these little rugrats all over the place? They told me this is about the grown-ups, man.
You can go right back again the next day and play 250 games again.
Chuck E. Cheese struggling through COVID, declaring bankruptcy in 2021, now looking for a reboot to draw families back to their arcade-style restaurant.
With this Fun Pass, members are more incentivized to go through Chuck E. Cheese on a more regular basis. So you'll then be tempted to buy some drinks or get some food, or maybe you'll want to pay a little bit extra to play the crane games or have your kids play on the trampoline.
Movie theater prices
Did they replace the ball pit with the trampoline? Somebody let me know. I ain't been to Chuck E. Cheese in quite a bit.
also increasing, up 3% as a result of inflation. AMC reporting their average ticket price in 2023 was $11.23, making the movies for a family of four cost $45 before popcorn and drinks. But for regulars, memberships could offer an opportunity to save, like MoviePass, starting at $10 a month for 3 free movies, and AMC's Stubbs A-List offering 3 free movies a week for a $25 monthly fee in my area.
But who's going to the movies that often? Let me know that too. Who's going to the movies that often? I ain't been in the movies. I think the last movie I went to the theater to actually go see was Sinners. I ain't been back to the movie theater since.
And if trips to your local bowling alley are landing your budget in the gutter, there's still time for Bolero's Summer Season Pass. It lets you bowl 2 games a day at your local alley, starting at just $33.
And one of the best deals out there, the National Parks Pass. It's $80 a year, and it covers the entrance fee for 4 people in a vehicle. Active military members also get annual passes for free. I don't know, Michael. Chuck E. Cheese or maybe the Great Smoky Mountains National Park? Okay, maybe both. I get it.
So here's the thing, right? As they wrap this thing up, man. Like, so it started off talking about Chuck E. Cheese and whatnot, right? They're talking about subscription services more often than not. And like, let's keep it a buck. Like, Americans have been inundated with a bunch of subscription services. Like, if you go on, I'm not even just talking about streaming services, but if like you buy certain apps on Android or iTunes, right? Like a lot of these apps now are trying to get you to buy some sort of subscription service. If you go play any type of video game regularly, a lot of them want you to pay into some sort of subscription service or some sort of they tier things off where you paying money constantly. And like they sell it as a way for you to save money, but ultimately you may end up paying more money, especially if you're not paying attention to, like, hey man, yeah, we got this Chuck E. Cheese subscription service, but nigga, we only been to Chuck E. Cheese once this month. Like, why are we paying for this shit? We don't go that often to Chuck E. Cheese to warrant a subscription service. The other part about it is this, man. When it comes to Chuck E. Cheese, does the subscription service come with a certain amount of alcohol content too for the parents? Okay, and the reason why I asked is, does the subscription service come with a certain amount of alcohol content for the parents, is because y'all know these parents be getting turned up at the motherfucking Chuck E. Cheese, man. There have been plenty of fights all across the country up at the Chuck E. Cheese, man. The kids out there for the birthday party, they eating that terrible ass pizza, and maybe their mama done bought them a cake from Walmart or Target or Costco, whatever, and the cake might be the best thing that's going on because that pizza is ass. If you wanted some good food, you might get the salad because you can make the salad yourself. But other than that, the pizza ain't all that, right? Right? But if you're not going to Chuck E. Cheese often enough, then at a certain point, you got to figure out now you're like, hey, man, just like with Netflix, just like with Amazon, just like with Paramount, Plus or whatever. Hey, I'm not watching this enough. We're not using this enough. Now I need to cut back on this subscription too. And so I wonder how that's going to affect people going forward. Like, yeah, they're presenting this as though it's going to save you money. But oftentimes, especially with the subscription services, you end up spending money that you're not, like, that you normally would have saved, but you don't know that you even spending this money because it's like kind of like in the back of your mind. You're not thinking about it all the time, right? So, yeah, man, got that going on. I thought this was just like, they was coming out with some Chuck E. Cheeses for the adults, like on some what was that? Dave and Buster's type shit. But apparently, they just subscription, another subscription service for y'all to subscribe to. So we got that going on, man. Real talk. Another story that we got going on, man. So we talked about this a little bit last week, man. After, the verdicts came down for the Diddy trial. People were outside of the trial, man. They were celebrating, the verdicts. He was found, not guilty on the most serious charges of racketeering and things of that nature, but he was found guilty of basically soliciting prostitutes and whatnot, right? Charges which he could possibly do 20 years in prison for. I doubt he really gets that, that type of sentence, but he could still face up to 20 years in prison. But people were outside celebrating him, I guess allegedly getting off, right? And they were doing so by giving each other baby oil showers after, outside of the courtroom, right? Well, one of the people who were primarily responsible for that, a guy by the name of Armin Wiggins, he has since now apologized for his part in celebrating with the baby oil. Nigga! Yeah, man. So we get this story from what is this? Hip hop something? What is the name of this? Hotnewhiphop.com. Okay, hotnewhiphop.com is where we get the story from. And Armin Wiggins apologized for baby oil antics outside of Diddy's trial. Armin Wiggins was among a crowd of supporters as the jury found Diddy not guilty of sex trafficking and racketeering. He has issued a lengthy apology after he and other supporters of Diddy poured baby oil on themselves outside of the courthouse in New York City, where the jury's verdict came back not guilty in his criminal trial on Wednesday. He says the moment has been taken out of context and he's not a supporter of Diddy's actions. Wait. Nigga! Get the fuck out of here, bruh. Get all the way the fuck up out of here, bruh. Nobody believes that you are not a supporter. Why would you be out there with baby oil after the verdicts, celebrating the shit? If you were not come on, man. All right. All right, man. He says the moment has been taken out of context and he's not a supporter of Diddy's actions. While he got off on sex trafficking and racketeering charges, the bad boy mogul was still found guilty on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. Yesterday, a clip of me outside the courthouse went viral and was taken out of context. What started as a lighthearted moment, part of a long-running joke with my audience, was misinterpreted as support for Sean Diddy Combs. That was never my intention. He further wrote, for the past 60 days, I worked hard to cover this case with honesty and objectivity, and yet come on, bro. The moment was about sharing a bit of levity with the community that's been on this journey with me, nothing more. Still, I fully understand how the timing and optics may have felt hurtful, especially to survivors of abuse. I sincerely apologize to anyone who was impacted or disappointed. This has been a reminder to move with greater care, and I remain committed to doing this work with integrity and heart. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here, man. If this was about your objectivity, if this was about you presenting this case in an objective manner, nothing about this would have led you to go out there and celebrate a verdict and pull out fucking baby oil and started spraying baby oil on other people. Nothing about that would have been like, if that's what this was about, if this was about your objectivity. Clearly it was not. Clearly it wasn't. And so to gaslight people into saying like, yo, it was a long running joke. Nigga, what's funny about abuse, fam? I get it. Some of y'all think y'all comedians. Some of y'all ain't good at the comedy. And you should probably leave the comedy to the comedians. Right? But the actors, though, this is a part of a long-running joke. That'd be like, yo, Funk Flex, after he said all that bullshit he said last week, that he got a ton of shit for last week. It wasn't just a man Spann going in on his punk ass. A whole lot of people was in his motherfucking mentions like, hey, bro, you a corny son bitch for this type of shit. So, like, I wouldn't be surprised if this Wiggins guy got a bunch of, a backlash around and shit, too, where he feel like he has to issue an apology. But it's like, nigga, how did you think that shit was going to be received? Like, that's the part that I want to know, nigga. Like, you out here, like, and even, like, the people who were covering the shit live, like Laura Coates for seeing the shit, like, I kid you not, these motherfuckers are out here. She didn't say it like this. She didn't say it like this, but I'm sure if Laura Coates wasn't at work, Laura Coates, I kid you not, these motherfuckers over here out here spreading baby oil on each other. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. Right? And so now you think the rest of us are supposed to just like, all of us who aren't in on the joke, by the way, the nation isn't in on the joke. You thinking that like, yo, I'm doing this and this is about the people who support my channel, this, that, other. Nigga, you doing this in front of nationwide like audiences and shit. You got CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, Fox, fucking ABC News, NBC News, watching you dumb motherfuckers out there with baby oil spreading on each other, spraying it on each other after Diddy gets, acquitted of 2 charges and found guilty on 2, and think that that's gonna be taken with like everybody's supposed to just know, oh, this is just a joke. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. I'm tired of people doing shit publicly, doing fucked up shit publicly, being called out on the shit that they do publicly, and then acting like they had no clue that they were being, observed publicly. Fuck out of here, man. Fuck out of here. That shit was dumb, man. That shit was whack. Shit was whack, man. Yeah, my man, it was a Dash is in the chat. We like levity. That's what I'm saying. Like, what is levity? Why did you feel like this is a thing to be like to have levity about? This is about abuse, bruh. We watched Cassie get abused on camera, bruh. This is a bait. They were talking about sex trafficking and everything else, and you can, argue all day long with the, the legal scholars and stuff like that as to whether or not Diddy had been overcharged and things of that nature. I mean, I kind of thought so to a degree, but I'm not a lawyer, right? So it's not for me to say. But like, yo, man, like to look at this entire situation, like, hey, man, let's make some jokes of this shit right now. Like, this is the problem with social media, in the sense that like everybody and everything is content, and so everybody is looking for a way to get paid off of the content that they produce. Whomever gets hurt be damned. And like I said, with Funk Flex last week, he said that bullshit. I don't think he thought about what the ramifications of that statement could mean, and how that could affect anybody who had been dealing with sexual assault, who had been dealing with domestic abuse. I don't think he thought about that shit whatsoever, right? And so it's going to take them being taken down a peg to some degree for them to feel like, oh shit, I might need to shut the fuck up. You don't have to say everything that's on your mind. Like, let's keep that a buck too. You don't have to do that. But so many of these motherfuckers feel like they have to do it, and it's unfortunate. And yeah, man. He apologized. Armin Wiggins apologizes for the baby oil shit. So yeah, man, we got that going on. Another story that we got going on, man, is let's see, do I want to do this one or this one? We're gonna do this one. So there was a flood that happened in Texas over the course of the last week, man. And so yeah, really bad situation that's happening down there in Texas, man. Over 100 people have been declared dead from this flood. They are still searching for, I believe it's up to 20 people, a lot of them young people, children, young girls who were at a camp somewhere in the middle of Texas. And, interestingly enough, man, we talk about, we talk politics here on the Spann Report Podcast Network and the Mr. Spann Official Podcast specifically. We talk politics a lot here. And I always want to make sure that when we do talk about the politics, we're talking about it in a real way and how it's affecting people in a real way. One of the things that I thought was interesting, though, was that earlier this year, and I'm sure if you've been watching the news for any length of time over the course of this week, this point has been made. But earlier this year, man, the Trump administration made a lot of noise about the fact that they were gutting portions of the United States government. They had Elon Musk out here showing up at the Conservative Political Action Committee, bragging about how much he was cutting the federal government. As a matter of fact, I got video of this motherfucker celebrating this shit while he was at CPAC. Let me go ahead and pull this up so you guys can watch right along with your man Spann. Because again, a lot of times when it comes to these sorts of things, man, they want to skirt their fucking responsibility, right? They especially this current crop of politicians, they want to skirt responsibility, and it's as if they are oblivious to the fact that the internet is forever, that the internet documents everything, that we heard what we thought we heard, that we saw what we thought we saw. Even in this age of AI, some of us have to be a little bit more discerning, right? Got to be a little bit more discerning. But even in this age, we saw what the fuck we saw. And so this was Elon Musk earlier this year, as Doge was giving carte blanche to start cutting shit all across the fucking United States government. So, and for those of you who are now watching, and you'll be listening to this later, he's basically, running back and forth across the stage, both fists in the air, pumping his fist. The crowd chant, they hype. They hype. They are happy about this shit.
Who else is here?
President Milei has a gift for me.
Javier Milei from Argentina. You guys know who that is, right?
Well, apparently the Argentinian president shows up to give Elon Musk a chainsaw for him to basically prance around the stage with the chainsaw in a symbolic gesture of him hacking off parts of the government that they deem unworthy, wasteful, and fraudulently spending. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to do that.
Javier Milei from Argentina. You guys know who that is, right?
This is the chainsaw for bureaucracy. Chainsaw!
Elon Musk is like a 12-year-old kid, man. Here's the thing, and this is one of the things that I think his heel turn as far as his turn into political advocacy and punditry and whatnot. What we really started to learn Elon Musk is like a 12-year-old kid who doesn't really, I wouldn't even say he doesn't really know much. I think Elon Musk very well much knows that he's benefited a lot from government subsidies. As much as he would talk about wasteful spending and things of that nature, he doesn't consider the subsidies that he gets as wasteful, right? The government subsidies that he's been able to obtain for Tesla and SpaceX and Starlink and things of that nature, have made him a very wealthy man, has made him the richest motherfucking man on the face of the planet. Right? Which is why like his heel turn on Donald Trump has been so fucking dramatic too, because like he helped usher in this bullshit that we have in the Oval Office right now. Like he's a key player in that. He spent over $250 million of his own money to help get Donald Trump elected. Right? So this is Elon Musk celebrating the fact that Doge was cutting back on things like your Social Security, like getting access to your Social Security numbers so that we don't even know exactly what they plan on doing with those Social Security numbers, but the fact that this private citizen with very private companies has access to that information, that type of information, should be scary to you. This is like his reaction to them cutting out veteran, like the VA hospital staff members, them cutting out park rangers and shit like that, like people who are maintaining your national parks and stuff. Like they went about the business of cutting people that they didn't think were necessary, and oftentimes they cut people that they didn't think were necessary, and then they found out later, oh shit, we need to get them motherfuckers back here. They very necessary. They cut the fucking nuclear program, people, y'all. They was cutting nuclear folks, and then they found out like, oh shit, fucked up. We might need to get them back. Get them back here real quick. Apologize to them. Give them a bonus. Something. Shit. We fucked up. Shit. Fuck. Right? But this is what they were doing. They were haphazardly cutting people out of the government. Right? That also included cuts to the National Weather Service. And that also included cuts to the to NOAA, which I think is like the National Oceanic I forget what the NOAA stands is. AA is like something association, right? Now NOAA and the National Weather Service are the people who help predict your fucking weather, right? They are the ones that tell you, hey man, it's a storm coming. Get your ass in the house. Hey man, it's a hurricane coming. Get your ass out of the city. Hey man, it's a storm coming. Get your ass out of state, right? They cut that. Doge cut that. Across the country, they cut that, right? So Elon Musk at CPAC celebrating the fact that they were cutting government jobs, right? But not only that, so there was this flood that happened in Texas. Flood happens in Texas, right? And it was a deadly flood. Like I said, I think we lost over 100 people. Many of them children. Some of them children are still missing. Some of those people are still missing. They're still looking for them. And suddenly, those people who are in charge, so let's keep it a buck right now. The people who are in charge of the government in Texas and for the feds include Greg Abbott, who is the governor of the state of Texas. Ted Cruz, who is a senator, United States senator for the state of Texas. Kristi Noem, who is a Republican, who is a former governor of the state of one of them Dakotas. You know, neither one of them fucking matter, but one of the Dakotas, right? Probably got 5 people living there, but she was the governor of that state. And she goes all the way, she goes around the country cosplaying as a firefighter, as an ICE agent, as fucking whatever the fuck they need her to like pose for. She gonna put the costume on. So Kristi Noem, she's the Secretary of Homeland Security, and she's also part of this apparatus. Then you got Donald Trump, supposed to be president of the United States. If you've noticed, absolutely none of these some bitches feel as though the shit that's happening in Texas right now is their fault. None of them.
Oh man, hey.
None of them think it's up to them. None of them think it's like, it's up to them to make sure that the American people are safe. None of the people in Texas, like the Texas officials, don't think it's their job to make sure that Texas are safe. The American government, they don't think it's their job to make sure that the people are safe. Right? So, someone asked the governor of the state of Texas, hey man, what do you think happened here, and who do you think is to blame for what happened here? And you know what this motherfucker Greg Abbott said to them? He said, what you talking about? You're choosing the word choice of losers. That's what you're doing. That's what he said, man. So, are we doing this, man? Oh, come on. So the New York Times want me to like sign in and pay for this shit. Come on, man. Can we do this without doing that? Continue with work or school? Come on, man. This is all right. Let me see if I can get this story somewhere else, because I refuse, bro. Like this is why liberal voices lose in like the media and shit, because so much misinformation is free like a motherfucker. The shit that actually is about a damn, they want you to pay for that shit. And like, hey man, as much as I'm not like a fan of fucking commercials and shit, hey man, sponsor this shit some type of way so that the people get access to the fucking information. But let me see if I can pull another story up, because Abbott calls. Let me see if I can go to YouTube. Yeah, let's go to YouTube. Let's see what Greg Abbott was talking about when it came to this storm. Greg Abbott, Texas flood. Yeah. Let's see what this bum ass motherfucker is talking about. And that video is way too long. And let's see. If I do losers, will it narrow it down some? Yeah, it will. So here we go. I'm gonna pull this video up so you guys can watch around with your man Spann. Let me do this here, and let's see what the governor of the state of Texas has to say about the response to this storm, and also who's to blame for this storm. So check this out, y'all.
Now this happened, and the death toll is enormous. Are you going to ask for investigation? Who is to blame here?
Right.
Okay,
so I'm going to talk about two different.
So the question I was asked, for those of you who may have had a hard time hearing that, they asked the question of who's to blame for the for the response for this action here. That was the question I was asked, and this is his response to it.
Things. The first part of your question, and that is an investigation. We know a special session's coming in about 10 days. That's where I would say where it begins. Candidly, those investigations will begin by both the House and Senate before we go into session. So probably beginning later this week or the early part of next week, there'll be committees formed that are already kind of working on ideas about ways to address this. Second part of the question needs to be addressed. You ask, and I'm going to use your words, who's to blame? Know this. That's the word choice of losers. Let me explain one thing about Texas. And that is, Texas, every square inch of our state cares about football. You could be in Hunt, Texas, Huntsville, Texas, Houston, Texas, any size community, they care about football. High school, Friday night lights, college football, or pro. And know this, every football team makes mistakes. The losing teams are the ones that try to point out who's to blame. The championship teams are the ones that say, don't worry about it, man, we got this. We're going to make sure that we go score again, that we're going to win this game. The way winners talk is not to point fingers. They talk about solutions. What Texas is all about is solutions. In fact, I want to read you something that I received last night that's worth emphasizing to put this in context. Tragedy has come. That part is done. What we do now, who we are now, that's what the story is still being written. Let it be one of grace, of grit, of fierce love in the face of grief. Let it be the kind of story that proves that the hill country may flood, but it does not fail. Say what you will about Texas, but when the rivers rise, so do we. Not with blame, not with bitterness, but with boots on the ground, arms around strangers, and hearts wide open. That's the Texas I know, and that's the America that I believe in. What this person wrote is what I know is true for all Texans.
Yeah, that sounds like a bunch of bullshit, man. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. That sounds like a bunch of bullshit to me. And the reason why it sounds like a bunch of bullshit is because I can remember earlier this year, man, there was a tragedy that happened in I want to say Baltimore, Maryland, where there was a boat, one of those like a shipping boat, right? Like a shipping container, like that had up, and it ran into a bridge in Maryland, right? And it took out the bridge. It ran into the boat lost power. It ran into this bridge, took out the bridge, and I can remember people of the Republican Party going out of their fucking way to say this is a DEI accident because the mayor of Baltimore was black. And now you have a situation where the federal government, led by a Republican, which is headed by Donald Trump, who has a Department of Homeland Security who doesn't know what the fuck her job is also going out and saying, well, you know, I don't have the expertise in this particular position, but they tried to blame this on Joe Biden, despite the fact that Joe Biden hasn't been president and did not fire the people from NOAA and the National Weather Service, right? Trying to lay blame at the Biden administration. And her not having any sort of expertise, but still trying to lay blame at the Biden administration. Then you have a Republican state led by Republicans in their state house, in their state senate, and their governorship. Republicans own this shit across the fucking board. And not one of these son bitches, I swear not one of these motherfuckers had the audacity or the balls to say, hey man, we fucked up. We fucked up.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. No wonder you get D's and everything.
In regards to that poem that he fucking read off, when they asked him, hey man, who's responsible for this shit ultimately? Right? If this had been under the Biden administration, Republicans across the nation would be already having the goddamn investigation going on right now. Right fucking now. Now, many people will say, hey, Spann, you politicizing this, man. You know, people have died and, they don't care whether or not they were Republican or Democrat, man. Ultimately, man, like they lost their lives. And, I hear you. I hear you. But at the same time, motherfuckers need to be held to account, especially people who are in positions of authority, right? People who are in positions of authority to actually do something. Hey, why did we fire people from NOAA who could have predicted this? Why did we fire people from the National Weather Service who could have predicted this and got people out of fucking harm's way so that they did not lose their lives? So that we're not talking about, hey man, over 100 people died. Many of them are fucking kids in Texas in 2025. If this had been the other way around, y'all know, this wouldn't be the discussion we're having. There would already be investigations and shit. The Trump administration is already patting themselves on the back, telling us how good a job they did. Meanwhile, over 100 people are dead from a flood when they could have been warned about the flood and did not have to die. Come on, man. Now I know we live in a nation of stupid people. Like, come on.
Think of how stupid the average person is, and then realize half of them are stupider than that.
I realize we live in a nation of stupid motherfuckers, but come on, man. Think about that. All of this shit could have been prevented. Could have been prevented. But he is not the only symptom of this stuff, though, right? So I came across this, man. I came across this earlier this week, man. So there was this woman who is allegedly a victim of this flood, right? And is asking for a lot of, she's asking for assistance from this flood. Like, hey, listen, like we need help down here. Like we're Americans and we pay taxes and we need help down here. And unfortunately, she's one of those people who when it comes to everybody else being affected by the bullshit policies of the Trump administration, she's all for it. But when those policies reach home and you're faced with the policy that you voted for, suddenly you feel like, hey man, this wasn't supposed to happen to me. Right? So let me pull this video up so you guys can watch Right On With Your Man Spann as well, because this lady was all over the news with her shit. So let me go ahead and pull this up so y'all can watch. We get this here from Threads, and so like, you know, I gotta try to do some creative shit with Threads because they don't have any real video controls on Threads. But I want you guys to be able to watch this here, and
you lose your job and your income. We're not Kerr County. I know we're not Kerrville. I know we're not San Angelo or San Antonio. But hell, we're human beings.
So she's basically, hey, we need help down here. We're human beings, and y'all not giving us any help. Meanwhile, this lady been on TikTok over the course of the last 6 months, trashing immigrants, trashing people who are dealing with Medicaid cuts and things of that nature. Check this out, man, because I'm gonna rewind this for those of you who are watching. But check this, just listen to her, man.
Bye. Have the day you deserve. And I hope you lose your job and your income. Saying we need help. Get me the media. Get me some official. Get me water. Get me anything we need, please. We have nothing.
You know, Grandma, I wasn't going to step up on your video this morning,
just couldn't help out a
but I'm going to have to do that. We're not going to help out anybody. Y'all been living on food stamps, EBT, Section 8 housing your entire freaking life, and you're not going to do it anymore. If you can work, you're an able-bodied person, go get a job.
We are a older community. A lot of our people don't have insurance. They don't have money. Kind of a forgotten community for Travis County. We're unincorporated. We are their unwanted stepchildren out here, unfortunately.
What you gonna do, crybaby?
With alligator.
I'll wear Alcatraz merch if I want to. And what you gonna do, baby? I'm gonna tell you FA and FO, okay?
For our concentration
so you have the day you deserve.
But for God's sakes, Travis County, help us. Don't treat us like we're nothing out here, because we're not. We're human beings. We pay taxes out here.
Please educate yourself. Please stop talking and spewing hate. And just because you choose to walk around and put things in your body that the Bible says biblically should never happen is not my problem. And just because you look like an orange-haired troll doll is also not my issue.
Don't treat us like this.
I feel really bad for you. I'm sorry you're so misinformed and so uneducated. Have the day you deserve, because we, the people, are coming, and we're here.
It's the one way that the people can.
Yeah, man. So this lady went from being a very active right-wing troll on social media on like I wouldn't say TikTok, to going on the news and begging for resources and begging to be treated as a human being, begging to be seen, begging to be heard. And it's one of those things where, again, when it comes to Trump supporters, there's a lack of self-awareness. I don't know what the fuck it is about Trump that makes these people forget who they are. I don't know what it is about Trump that makes them forget their situations and like how close they are to being one of the people who need help. But she found out. She fucked around as she's on Twitter. TikTok telling people FA and FO and all this other shit. She's antagonizing people who are in desperate positions. And now she finds herself in a desperate position, and she acts as though, hey, this is supposed to be for the rest of them, not me. Trump supporters are some terrible people. They want bad shit to happen to everybody. They never expect the bad shit to happen to them because they voted for him. And they're supposed to be a part of the protected. And then they find out that they're not a part of the protected. Right? They find out. Now, here's the thing, right? I am of the mind to where I do not waste my time talking or arguing with Trump supporters. I do not. I applaud y'all who have the patience and the wherewithal and the temerity and all of the willpower to do that with them. Hey man, we are 10 years into this. If you're asking me, fuck them people. Fuck them people. Because it is like when they voted this motherfucker in the second time, it's not like they didn't have any sort of idea of what he presented, what he represented, and everything else. We had 4 years of that son bitch. We went through COVID under that son bitch. We were on lockdown under that son bitch. Many of y'all think y'all got money in the mail because of that son bitch when that came from the democratically elected House of Representatives who had the power of the purse. Y'all didn't even know where the fuck y'all money came from. So anybody in 2024 who voted for that orange sack of shit, fuck you. From the bottom of my balls, fuck you. All right? Let's make that clear. Let's just make that clear. But we're seeing more and more of this type of stuff happen on social media where so many people who voted for that son bitch are finding themselves regretting their vote, find themselves in situations where had they voted a different way, they wouldn't be in the situations that they are in because, you know, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Republicans run on the premise that government doesn't work. And then when they get elected, they try to make the government not work to prove the fact that government doesn't work. This is what they do. This has been their mantra since like Reagan. They want to break government. They've always wanted to break government. And so now, with Trump in office, we know that he really wants to break government because he wants to, never face consequences for the criminal actions that he's been not only rightfully accused of, but rightfully charged of, right? The only reason he ran again is because he was trying to stay his ass out of jail. Unfortunately, over 70 million people said, fuck everything we know about this guy. He's the man. And put his ass back in office. Unfortunately, some of them motherfuckers were friends of mine. Ex-friends of mine now. Right? But this just kind of goes to show that even in a humanitarian type of crises, the people who find themselves needing help the most voted for the person who would not lift a fucking finger to help them. And everybody else who would have helped them, they gave them the birds. They said, fuck all of us, right? And they expect us to forget all of the shit that they said to the rest of us in the midst of that dude, winning, the presidency and whatnot. So, yeah, man, it's a sad situation in the sense that like you mourn for the kids that died in the situation that didn't have to. You mourn for the families that lost those children that didn't have to. And even if you are a Trump supporter, man, I don't wish anybody losing a child, man. These babies don't have anything to do with the bullshit of the adults in their lives. Real talk. But yeah, man, like it's just yet another example of Trump supporters being very terrible, despicable, deplorable, vile pieces of shit online, and then they find themselves running up against, Trump policies and needing help from the very people that they antagonize along the way. It's poetic justice in some to some degree, man. So you got that going on. Another story that we got going on here, man. I'm gonna go ahead to something different. So, hey, man, Essence Fest happened. last weekend. I didn't go to Essence Fest. I've been wanting to go to Essence Fest for some time now, right? I remember one year, me and my wife, we had plans to go, and I want to say Essence Fest ended up getting fucking canceled. The year we were planning to go was excuse me. The year we were planning to go was the year COVID happened, and we ended up having to cancel our trip to New Orleans to go to the Essence Fest. Come on, man. Dun. Yeah, man. And so we never got a chance to go. And like, that was one of the things, because me and my wife, again, we got married in New Orleans. We love New Orleans. We go as often as we can. We usually go around the Red Dress Run time. We will go, and because we got married during the Red Dress Run, it's like an anniversary trip for us. But we've also gone like pre Mardi Gras, not during Mardi Gras when everybody's down and everybody named Mom is down there, but pre Mardi Gras, but it's still like a good time, but it ain't crowded, right? I love New Orleans. I will always love New Orleans because of the symbolism, what it means to for me and my wife and in our life. And not only that, man, like the food, the drink, the atmosphere, the people. I fucking love New Orleans, man, real talk. So for any New Orleanians, man, I fucks with y'all, man, real talk. As soon as you get out of there, hey, baby, where you airport? You trying to go, where you going, baby? There go your taxi right there, baby. It don't matter who the fuck they talk to. Hey, baby. You know what I'm saying? So I fuck with New Orleans, man. I fuck with New Orleans heavy. But, yo, man, so Essence Fest happened last weekend, and so apparently, man, the diaspora wars have overtaken the Essence Fest, and to that I would say,
who are these niggas? We need to stay away from these niggas.
Yeah, man. So I hate that the diaspora wars hit New Orleans and it hit Essence Fest, despite the fact that I've never been to Essence Fest, right? But here's the thing, right? Here's what I've learned over the course of the last week or so. Whether you have been to Essence Fest or not, that has not stopped any of these motherfuckers from talking about Essence Fest, right? People who have never even been to New Orleans, mad, upset, perturbed at the fact that there was a Jollof Rice versus Jambalaya contest in New Orleans during Essence Fest. Nigga! Yeah, man, niggas is upset. Niggas is hot. They more hot about that than the fact that Lauryn Hill, once again, had a late arrival to a goddamn concert, man.
Oh man, hey.
You know how bad shit got to be for you to forget that Lauryn Hill showed up yet again late for another concert? And here's the thing that's funny about that though, right? So Essence Fest took the blame for Lauryn Hill showing up late for the concert. Essence Fest is like, hey man, it's our fault that Lauryn Hill didn't show up to the stage till 2:30 in the motherfucking morning.
Supposed to feel sorry for that bitch. I don't.
They was like, yo, man, it's our fault. Our bad, man. It ain't her this time. It was us. Even Stephanie Mills like, hey, man, y'all out here fucking up, man. Y'all out here fucking up. I got to put this shit on my official Stephanie Mills Productions letterhead. Y'all out here fucking up.
That's the same attitude that got your ass fired in the first place.
Yeah, man. So we got that going on. Like, Essence Fest was having some issues in 2025, right? The aunties, mad this year. Some of the unks too, mad. And they let in suits and, sandals with the white dress socks and the Palomino straw hats and shit and, doing the alpha stroll and whatnot by themselves. Right? So, Essence Fest happened. And, people are having issues with, what happened with Essence Fest, right? And we got a comment here. My man Dash is in the chat room. He says, they mad about good food? What? Also, it should be baked into your plans that Lauryn Hill gonna be. We all know Lauryn Hill. I'm surprised people still buy tickets to see Lauryn Hill. I really am. Like, she done milked this one album for 20 some odd years, bro. Like, y'all are still showing up for Lauryn Hill to perform this one album 20 years later, 20 hours late. I'm just saying, like, y'all are doing it to yourselves at this point.
Nigga!
You're doing it to yourselves at this point. But I saw, like, most of the commentary that I saw about Essence Fest this year on social media didn't necessarily have to do with Lauryn Hill showing up late or anything like that. A lot of it had to do with the fact of the ownership of Essence Magazine now, because apparently Essence Magazine is owned by an African, right? And many of the people who had a lot of complaints were complaining about the fact that, like, the Africans weren't necessarily respecting the African American perspective on how the Essence Fest should be and should be ran. And also, it became basically it became a fucking diaspora war. That's what it became. It became a diaspora war. It became a diaspora war about gatekeeping and about, hey man, we need to keep some black American shit, black American. We can't imagine if we went to Carnival and tried to turn Carnival into a hip hop concert, this, that, and the other, yada, yada, yada. Now, I'm not sure how much of that was actually happening at Essence Fest this year, because my ass wasn't at Essence Fest this year. And so I tend to, when I'm not at a certain event, try not to speak definitively about said event that my ass wasn't at. But that hasn't kept a lot of motherfuckers on social media from not talking about the shit. Right? So much so that now we got to educate folks on what does ADOS mean? What does FBA mean? And all these other fucking terminologies that the lay person that is not terminally online does not fucking know about. Because I'm going to make it plain to you right now. If you are not terminally online or chronically online or somebody who's just online because you got to be, you don't know what the fucking FBA is. You've never heard of ADOS if you are not chronically online. If you talk to the average person outside of your online experience, they don't know what the fuck you talking about in terms of FBA and ADOS, right? And so the FBAs and the ADOS people were having a field day on social media. Oh, nigga. I'm going to tell y'all this right now. This is something, like, for those of you who are listening to the sound of my voice and you follow me on social media, especially if you follow me on Threads, I'm going to give y'all a few fucking clues as to when you're talking to an FBA or an ADOS bot, or even if they're not a bot, a troll nonetheless. Okay? If you find yourself talking with an alleged, because we know that digital blackface is a thing, if you find yourself talking to an alleged black person with an American flag in their bio, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. Most black people aren't necessarily that proud about their American fucking heritage. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. We're not that proud to be like, hey, I'm American, considering how America is looking at us in this particular moment right now, where they're talking about trying to get rid of our 14th Amendment, the 14th Amendment, which gave us citizenship. If you're a black person with an American flag in your social media profile right now, yeah, you suspect. That's a red flag. Another red flag would be a profile picture that is of, a celebrity that you know is not them, a cartoon character, who the fuck is this cartoon character, or an animal. Come on, man. That's another red flag. Another red flag would be this person has no original post on social media, right? So if you're on Threads or if you're on Bluesky, that person has never actually just said anything out of their mouths that was just like original. They're like, hey, sometimes I feel like I want to go to Baskin Robbins. They never said nothing. But all of their social media posts are replies to everybody else. That's a red flag. That's a red flag. So they have very few followers. They might have 13 followers, maybe 49 followers, maybe 110 followers, but they don't have any original thoughts. All of their posts are replies to someone else. They have a cartoon character or some anonymous looking fucking profile picture. You don't know who the fuck they is. Hey, if you're on Threads, hide for everybody, block, mute, and restrict their asses, and do that to their asses into oblivion. Right? It's one of the things that I like about Threads is that you can block their asses into oblivion. Nobody even knows they fucking exist, especially around you. Right? So, got that going on. But I need people to understand that for me, I'll just say this for me. When I see black people in 2025 with an American flag in their bio on microblogging sites like a Twitter, like an X, like a Threads, like Bluesky, I already know you want some bullshit. Most of that are telltale signs that you either are on that 80 shit or that FBA shit. Okay? Now, for those of you who don't necessarily know, all of the history, I'm going to give a brief synopsis of it. But the 80 shit popped up around, I don't even want to, okay, don't give me the lion. Don't give me the lion. But that 80 shit kind of popped up around, I want to say 2016, 2020, somewhere in that area. And it was essentially like, hey, we are the American descendants of slavery. That's what ADOS means, American descendants of slavery. And so these are the people who would be, eligible for reparations. If reparations were to ever become a thing in America, we the ones who's supposed to get it. Not the Caribbeans, not the Africans who then came over here and became African Americans. No. The original people who was the descendant of slaves, we supposed to be the only ones who get the reparations if America decides they're going to give us reparations, right? Now, far be it from me to say that it's a bit far-fetched that America is even considering the fact of the concept of giving us reparations. It's controversial for them to even study giving us fucking reparations. So the idea that, hey, we gonna get reparations and these are the only people that's eligible for it, yeah, it's like, all right, bro, y'all doing a lot right now. Because they don't even want to talk about the studying the shit. But all right, whatever. Right? Now, that movement was started by people like Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore. Right? Now, Yvette Carnell, when I used to be on Twitter, I used to see a lot of her shit on Twitter and stuff like that. I remember seeing her going back and forth with like rappers and shit like Talib Kweli. Then I also remember seeing her post up shit that was like pro-Trump, talking about Donald Trump is right about black poverty. I remember seeing Yvette Carnell with a MAGA hat on. And one of the things that started to become clear to me was that the ADOS movement had kind of been co-opted by a lot of by the right-wing movement, the right-wing Republican-leaning MAGA movement, as basically the face of black people suddenly becoming anti-immigrant, right? Now you got black people buying into this idea that we don't want anybody else coming over to America. I don't know at any point in time when black people ever gave a fuck about whoever else came over here. I don't know any time of that. When black people get, hey man, Chinese people coming over here and taking our jobs. Hey man, Arab people coming over here and taking our jobs. Hey man, Hispanic people coming over here and I have never known a time where black people was like, hey man, these other minorities are coming over here and fucking up our shit. Never. Now, I've heard some jealousy as far as, some misguided jealousy as far as like, hey, they are getting resources that we should be getting. And Republicans played on that too. This past election cycle, we saw that when it came to those stories about Venezuelans supposedly getting thousands of dollars in food stamps. Meanwhile, people who lived here were only getting a few $100s in food stamps. And y'all really thought that these Venezuelans were out here getting cash and thousands of dollars in food, and you wasn't getting anything. We saw that in like how Republicans were shipping Venezuelans and Mexicans and Nicaraguans and like all these people from South and Central America who were coming up here looking for a better life, how they were shipping them off into New York and Chicago and Indianapolis and Detroit and all these sanctuary cities, right? Shipping them to these sanctuary cities to now y'all are upset that they are there, allegedly getting the resources that you thought should be coming to you. Republicans played that shit to the T. Right? But it wasn't just the ADO shit, because the ADO shit kind of like, once they got figured out as they had been co-opted and, they had been co-opted to the point where like, they were also just Trump supporters. A lot of, some black people like they wasn't fucking with Trump back then. They were like, nah, man, y'all tripping. Then enter Tariq Nasheed. Now, Tariq Nasheed, some of y'all may know that motherfucker from the Mac Lessons radio show. Shout out to everybody who knows Tariq Nasheed from the Mac Lessons radio show. Shout out to y'all who know Tariq Nasheed from the Play or Be Played book. Or shout out to Tariq Nasheed from Tariq Ali, who authored The Elite Way. Matter of fact, let's just go ahead and pull Tariq Nasheed's books up. Let me go ahead and do this here. Let me make sure y'all see who Tariq Nasheed was before he started putting out them bullshit ass, ahistorical ass documentaries. Okay? So let me pull this up so y'all can see. Let's see. Tariq Nasheed. Nah. Let's do this books. Let me do this books first. I want to do the books first. All right. So these are the books that Tariq Nasheed was putting out. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this up so you guys can see right along with your man Spann, because this goes into not only the ADO shit, but the FBA shit. Okay, because now you niggas go out here and call yourselves foundational Black Americans, not knowing that Tariq Nasheed went out here and I'm sorry, not trans. This motherfucker went out here and what's the word that I'm looking for? It's not registered. It's not registered. What's the word that I'm looking for? I can't think of the word right now. Y'all know what I mean though. But like this motherfucker went out here and basically he registered to where he's the only person that can make money off of the foundational Black American shit. And I'm hating that I'm missing the word right now. But I'm gonna pull up some of these images of Tariq Nasheed's book so y'all know who y'all talking about when we talking about this shit. So these are the books of said Tariq Nasheed. This is The Art of Mackin'. Hold on. Oh, that shit opened up in a whole new motherfucking window. My bad. Let's see. Can we do this here? There we go. The Art of Mackin'. Let's see if can we open that up a little bit more? Damn it. All right. It won't let me do it that way. Let me let's see. Open and I just want to blow this bitch up. Okay. But he's the author of The Art of Mackin', right? But also we have The Mac Within. That's Tariq right there. That's Tariq, right? Here we got, Tariq King Flex Nasheed, The Art of Gold Digging. All right? The Art of Gold Digging, Tariq Nasheed, man. The Art of Mackin', The Art of Gold Digging. Oh, shit. The Elite Way, 10 Rules Men Must Know in Order to Deal with Women. Tariq Elite Nasheed, right? So this motherfucker was essentially a pickup artist, and he was selling y'all ways and to manipulate women, so to speak, right? But that's what the word I was looking for, trademarked. So if you look up who trademarked FBA, we know that it's Tariq Nasheed. Let me go ahead and do this here. Tariq Nasheed trademark. FBA. All right. Now, foundational Black Americans. We get this from Justia Trademarks, okay? Where's the name? Current trademark owners, Tariq Nasheed. Right there. Let me see. I don't know if I can blow this up for you guys here. And he applied for this trademark on March 16th of 2022. Okay? So, when you hear people talk about foundational Black Americans, it is an offshoot of the ADOS movement, and it is a way for Tariq Nasheed to make more money for himself. He uses this shit in order to sell books, in order to sell t-shirts, in order to sell flags, in order to sell all types of merch. Right? So, let's bring this all the way back to Essence Fest, because that's what this is about. This shit is about Essence Fest. And we started seeing all across social media people bitching and moaning about Essence Fest being taken over by Africans or Caribbeans and all these things. And I need us to understand, whether you be African, whether you be African American, whether you be Caribbean, whether you be of any type of Black person across the diaspora, in America, y'all absolutely know, they see all of us as niggas first.
Niggas.
They absolutely see us as that. So what's the fucking point of us arguing amongst each other about sharing our experiences as Black people in the world with each other? How is that a problem? How is that a fucking problem? Make that shit make sense. The reason why it is now taboo amongst Black people to celebrate Black people amongst Black people is because people like a Tariq Nasheed, a Yvette Carnell, who have ties to people like a Donald Trump and the Trump movement, the MAGA movement, the Republican Party, is because they want to splinter the Black vote, the Black solidarity movement, and make us separated and keep us divided, so that when it comes to us voting as a block, we're not as big as a block as we used to be. Because now we're arguing about whether or not your Caribbean experience is valid as an American in Black America. Or we're arguing about your being a Black person from the continent and coming to America, and whether or not we should take your experience into account when you decide as a naturalized citizen whether or not we should take your shit into account when it comes to what we do as a society here in America. Like, this has been a co-opted movement from the very fucking beginning, led by charlatans, led by grifters who plan to get paid off y'all's fucking anger. That's what it is. And ultimately, a culmination of that showed up for Essence Fest. Well, people are upset. Y'all got jollof rice in New Orleans. Hey, man, New Orleans has some of the greatest food in the world. Trust me, I know. I'm a foodie. I've been there quite often. I love the food in New Orleans. New Orleans isn't worried about whether or not they're competing with their jambalaya and jollof rice. That's an online discussion. Black people aren't worried about whether or not their culture is being wiped out at a Black conference where Black people are and being celebrated. That's an online discussion. And so it starts to become this thing where, in a time where we're dealing with all of the shit the Trump administration is doing, whether that be taking away our 14th Amendment rights, or at least attempting to, whether that be ICE showing up and hemming up Haitians and sending them to Libya, whether that be ICE showing up and hemming up a citizen who's from who is a citizen whose family comes from Jamaica, but also their families fought in the United States armed forces, and then sending that descendant of those armed forces fighters back to Jamaica. This isn't just happening to the Hispanic people, where we can, sit around and talk about resting and things of that nature. We talked about that a couple weeks ago too. So I need for people to understand the things that are coming. I know it's a lot of shit coming at us all the time. And some of the people who are coming at us look like us. So if you're one of those black people with that American flag in your bio, to me, I'm just going to say it right now. To me, your man Spann don't trust you. I think you're an op. I think you full of shit. And some of y'all may not necessarily understand the history behind that, and you got a chance to correct it. But having had experiences with these motherfuckers over the course of the last 10 years, I know exactly what that shit is. And I see it coming a mile away. And I would hope that many of my friends and anybody who's listening to the sound of my voice right now can also see that shit coming from a mile away. Because, nigga, it is fucking obvious, man. It is fucking obvious. Now, before we get on up out of here, we got one more story left to talk about. And that has to deal with the fact that, like, hey, man, the Epstein Files didn't really motherfucking exist. Y'all killing me, right? So check it, man. Check it, man. So they're saying that the Epstein Files was some bullshit, man. They're trying to tell us that shit didn't exist, man. They're trying to tell us that shit was a figment of our motherfucking imagination, man. They're trying to lie to us in our motherfucking faces, man. But hey, it's all bullshit, and we know it. It is bullshit.
I'm supposed to feel sorry for that bitch. I don't.
And then when we talk about that bitch would be Donald Trump, okay? And the reason why I say that bitch would be Donald Trump is because, hey, man, for years, people surrounding Donald Trump, people surrounding his administration, people who were surrounding his campaigns and whatnot, they sold this idea that, hey, man, those liberals, those Democrats, they was out here molesting the babies. Not only are they molesting the babies, but they are drinking the blood of the babies. As a matter of fact, you had one stupid motherfucker go to a pizza parlor in Washington, D.C. and shoot motherfuckers because he thought that they had babies in the basement and Hillary Clinton was drinking the blood of the babies in the basement of that goddamn restaurant, man.
Oh man, hey.
Now, for those of you who may be familiar, again, your man Spann is a little bit more politically astute. I watch a lot of this political stuff, man. This is kind of what I do, man. I pay attention to this shit because, again, I feel like this is it's a part of my duty to pay attention to some of the shit because I know some of my friends might not necessarily do that. But also, I've been like this for a while, man. Even when I was a kid, man, I used to tell people I was going to vote for Paul Tsongas. Nigga, I wasn't old enough to vote for no damn Paul Tsongas. I used to say that type of shit. I paid attention to this type of stuff. I used to go to the bathroom with the newspaper and eat the newspaper. That's not like it was crazy. All right? I would always pay attention to this type of stuff. And so, the Trump administration, for a while, man, even before he had been president, man, Donald Trump was telling people, hey, man, when I get into office, I'm going to release the Epstein Files, man. Y'all going to get these Epstein Files, man. As a matter of fact, we got video of him saying this exact shit, man. Because of course, we deal with the, hey man, this is what you said. You know what I'm saying? This is what you said. And so hold on, let me do this here. So you guys can watch right on with your man Spann. But yeah, man, like, hey, he been saying this shit for years. We gonna release the Epstein Files. We gonna put this shit to bed. Okay. All right, that's what he said, right? Check this out, y'all. This is exactly what's been happening lately, though.
Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list. That is an important thing.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would.
Release the list.
Seriously, we need to release the Epstein
That's
list.
Shady
That
Pants,
is an
Vice
important
President.
thing.
Will you work with me on this issue so we know who worked with Jeffrey Epstein in building these sex trafficking rings?
Absolutely, Senator. Child sex trafficking has no place in the United States of America, and I will do everything, if confirmed as FBI director, to make sure the American public knows the full weight of what happened in the past and how we are going to countermand missing children and exploited children going forward.
Just last week, the president's excellent pick for FBI Director Kash Patel vowed to work with me in releasing the Epstein records and breaking apart the trafficking rings that harm countless women and children across our country.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that.
All this evidence is sitting in the Southern District of New York.
Yeah.
So based on that, I gave them the deadline, Friday at 8, a truckload of evidence arrived. It's now in the possession of the FBI. Kash is going to get me and himself, really, a detailed report as to why all these documents and evidence had been withheld. It's a new administration, and everything's going to come out to the public. The public has a right to know. Americans have a right to know.
I know the Attorney General has committed to releasing those files. I would defer you to the Department of Justice on her timeline, but when she's made a promise in the past, she has kept it, and I'm certain that she will in this case as well.
Welcome back, everybody. 20 minutes to the top of the hour. Case closed. The Justice Department revealing Jeffrey Epstein died by suicide and insists there is no secret client list out there.
So they went out of their way to talk about how, hey man, we got this list of people that Jeffrey Epstein had when he was providing them with young girls to molest and abuse and take advantage of, things of that nature. And they use this, right? They use this to essentially like kind of amplify their base. Because think about this for a second, man. I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with the entity that was Q. Right? There was a bunch of people, right-wing leaning people, who really believed that Q was some hidden person within the government who was trying to give them clues as to, the people were doing some nefarious things, and that Donald Trump was going to root these people out, and they were gonna get hold all of these people to account. Right? Now, the people that they thought they were going to hold to account were Democrats. Right? They talked about Bill Clinton being a part of Jeffrey Epstein's crew. They talked about Hillary Clinton drinking the blood of babies in the basements of pizza parlors and shit. Like I said, to the point where that guy took his ass to that pizza parlor and shot up the place, and wasn't no babies in that basement and everything else, right? So they talked all of this shit up because they thought they were going to have a list of prominent Democrats, prominent liberal-leaning celebrities to pin this list on, right? Now, a few weeks ago, Elon Musk came out and said, hey, I'm going to give y'all the big bomb on Twitter. He said this on Twitter. Hey, Donald Trump is on that goddamn list. Which wouldn't have been surprising to anybody because we had seen videos of Donald Trump with Jeffrey Epstein quite a few times, man. That shit had been playing on loops on cable news for quite some time, right? But that don't fly for the people who thought that they were going to be able to crucify Democrats and Democratic politicians for the better part of the last 10 years, man. That ain't going to fly with them. And so now even Republicans are like, hey, man, what the fuck, man? Y'all came out, y'all gave us all these binders and shit with a whole bunch of information that we already knew. And then y'all said y'all had a phase 2 coming out. And then phase 2 ain't coming out because y'all said ain't no motherfucking list. Could it be that the reason why ain't no list is because Donald Trump is on the motherfucking list?
That'll be a monkey's bare-assed uncle.
Come on, man. And you got like, you know, people like Laura Loomer talking about, well, you know, Pam Bondi needs to be fired. Like Pam Bondi doing her motherfucking job right now. Pam Bondi is covering up for the main guy, right? Donald Trump was out here talking about fucking his own daughter. If she wasn't my daughter, I'd be dating her. That's what the dude said in public. If she wasn't my daughter, I'd be dating her. The man wants to fuck his own daughter. Y'all think he wouldn't be fucking around with some underage girls that were provided to him by like some, you know, very prominent financier who has access to young girls whom he's been on, you know, videotape palling around with quite a bit, right? So now suddenly MAGA world is like, well, wait a minute. What does this mean? Why ain't what? Like this is a betrayal. Like we can't believe this. Like, why the fuck can't you? Why the fuck can you not believe it? Right? It's so fucking obvious, bro. It's so fucking obvious, man. But for whatever reason, man, you know, the Epstein Files suddenly just do not motherfucking exist. And, you know, you're going to have some MAGA people who get shook by this, but ultimately you're going to have some others who will make an excuse as to why what happened is legitimate, and we should look no further into it. Also, just, you know, to keep in mind, Donald Trump just put the former CIA, the head of the CIA, and the former head of the FBI under investigation because, of course, his Department of Justice is now just like seeking out his political enemies and the way in which he accused Joe Biden of doing, but Joe Biden never really did, man. But yeah, man, it's just been weird, like kind of watching them lose their shit, and suddenly everybody, well, wait a minute, goddammit, you told us we had the list on the desk, and what happened to the list? They were so ready for that list to be filled with prominent Democratic politicians and prominent liberal celebrities, and like, to me, it just makes sense that, hey, they found out the man is on here, and if we gonna talk about them, we gonna also have to talk about him. And because we have to swear fealty to him, we can't put the list out. So nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. We can't put this out. And it didn't happen. You know, case closed and all that other shit. So yeah, man, we got that going on. But yo, man, like I said, I am see, look at this shit. I am a verbose motherfucker, bro. I wasn't supposed to be on here this long, man. I was not supposed to be on here this long, man. Real talk. But it's time for me to get on up out of here. But of course, before I do, I gotta remind you guys how to get in touch with your man Spann over here. Let your voice be heard. Go ahead and hit up the hotline. Area code 313-288-0485. That's area code 313-288-0485. Leave those voicemail messages. Those messages will get play here and reply to here live on the show. You can also email us here at feedback@thespannreport.com. I'm sorry, not the feedback@thespannreport.com. That's the Spann Podcast. The Spann Podcast @gmail.com. That's the Spann Podcast @gmail.com. Go ahead, follow me, leave me those emails, and of course those emails you can read here and reply to here live on the show. Follow me on Bluesky. My name on Bluesky is mrspann.bsky.social, mrspann.bsky.social. Go ahead and follow me there. Chop it up with your man Spann throughout the week. Also, I'm on Threads. Mostly, I am on Threads. Mr._Spann on Threads and Instagram. Follow me there. Chop it up with your man Spann throughout the week there as well. If you're watching the show on YouTube, go ahead and like the channel. I'm sorry, like the video, but subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate you guys for doing that. But also, leave us some comments, and the comments that are pertinent to the conversations that we're having here, those comments will be highlighted here on the show, and we will reply to those comments here, right here on the show. Also, leave us a 5-star review on iTunes and or Spotify. Those 5-star reviews will get right here live in the show. We really do appreciate everybody who does that. Doesn't cost you a dime, just a couple minutes of your time to let everybody know why you're rocking with us over here at the Mr. Spann Official Podcast and the Spann Report Podcast Network in its entirety. And also, buy yourself some merch, man. Go ahead, copy yourself a t-shirt, copy yourself a hoodie. It's gonna get like warm outside pretty soon, you know. But in the meantime, get yourself an athletic shirt, because we don't call them white beaters over here no more. Get yourself a water bottle, get yourself a you know, something, you know. And that's one way for you to not only financially support the show, but if you get something back tangible in return, man. Real talk. So yeah, man, I am going to talk to you guys again soon. But until next time, fam, peace.